Yeah, I already forgot what I was originally going to do, but I caught Melton's Nobody Likes Onion show and ended up being featured in it. So, oops, wrong thing. Um, so I'm gonna, draw the picture and actually draw something that I've already done. This was an idea for more of a comic book based on this Dabbleverse stuff, and probably just going to go with what I already have. But here was an idea of Chad Zumach being tormented by a phantom of Melton, because when you watch the show and Melton's doing watching videos, and in this case it would be one of Chad's show. He's off in the corner and let me make sure I got my head right. And Chad was, especially during the mess up of the AC show and all that stuff. And he's just like, oh, he can't figure out why it went wrong and everything. And so you have Melton, because you're dumb, nerd. And I thought, oh, like right to the corner of like hovering right over to the heart of Chad. It's this phantom Melton telling him that he's stupid. And I thought it would make a great image. So that's what I'll do here. So why do this? Well, so it's on Pat's show Thursday night. And I can't remember exactly how the conversation got to this business of Melton and Hackamania and all that. But and I mean, he was watching it on his, Melton was watching this on his show. And I was at work, all night. And so I would come back just when it's getting interesting, of course, because it includes me. I couldn't watch it. I had to go deal that with work and all that. So, got a good bit of it and all this stuff. So Pat came in and talked about that. This is approach that if he could get Anthony Cumia to do Hackamania, that, then there would be this setup for the show and it would involve Pat and all that, of something of that nature. And, but now that's because, Melton's been covering Opie now, and he thinks, oh, he's trying to get in good with Anthony so that he can get Anthony at the show, and I'm left out in the cold. And now look, the whole scenario I found hilarious and whatnot. But he says, "You see, so how serious was it to be taken or not?" Well, a fair point. I didn't really think of it at the time, and he was, say, yeah, this is ridiculous. But, and then I'm laughing the whole time and saying, I'm sure it's all a coincidence, but a coincidence in the sense, not in the sense that if you can get Anthony Cumia to do your show, you should, regardless of what other elements might have been involved here or there or what have you. Sure. Now, of course, Melton makes the point. There is no attempt to get him in. I mean, he certainly would love to have him there and all this sort of thing. But now he's got his radio show, which would be him doing it on a Sunday night. So at best, I suppose, if it possible, Anthony could do one night of the 3 nights of the Hackamania show, I assume, and then would have to do his show in Vegas, the radio show separately. It's a lot of arrangements and whatnot to accommodate all of that. So odds are probably not. But anyway, in the whole scenario, comes out of that it's all a plot against Pat Dixon, stuff like that. I mean, well, there was this dust up earlier between the two. Now, both, I don't know if Melton got the entirety. Well, I clearly did, and it was clipped here and there, jumping around and stuff like that. Um, but it's interesting to note that uh, I remember this earlier when the whole super tip thing came about, when Melton uh, got understandably nervous about Pat revealing that he knew his ex-girlfriend was super tipping him anonymously and other names and that sort of thing. And all of that unfolded, and Melton reacted to it, and it got a little nasty between the two, even though in the long run, being that the actual payment processor is Stripe and whatnot, I don't think there was any jeopardy for SuperTip. However, at the time, apparently, it was having investors showing interest in it and expanding it, and all, which would be a wonderful thing because SuperTip is absolutely a great entity, and all of that sort of thing, as I understand it, as far as what went on here. And so Melton did his show. Pat got mad about his complaints, went off into that, is Pat on drugs? Is Pat as crazy as, Felicia and all that sort of stuff? And so it got nasty, and I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. And all this sort of thing. And then so and that's and then everybody moves on to something else, and that's all there was to it. Wasn't really my place to weigh in on it at all, because it doesn't really concern me. More, it's between the two, and all the while I thought, well, shouldn't they talk to each other? But I guess not. I don't know. I really don't at that point. So as things go, I always liked Melton. I think his show is brilliant. He's very good at this. And the interesting thing is, like, my mind's wandering and everything. Been up all night at work. But it was like that Pat actually complimented him on his abilities, his talents, and all this stuff. That being said, when Melton was criticizing Pat Dixon and being too obsessed about all this stuff and everything, actually did compliment him on his abilities, his comedic abilities and all that. They both missed this. Because I remember saying, I said, no, actually he was upset about the whole super tip thing and all that. But he did compliment Venus and Pat. Oh, really? Well, it's like, well, yeah. So, these things are unfortunate, but I would encourage that they directly talk to one another. You're stronger together than apart. Something like that. As for Kumi, the objective thing to look is, if you could get Kumi to do, you should. I think it's unlikely due to just the radio show and all that sort of thing. Because it would have been cool. Because as I understand it, Dr. Steve's going to be there. That would be a nice little reunion and stuff like that. But the practicalities are probably not there. Was this that big of a deal? I don't think so, but and that's another thing is like, gee, why is Pat still with Felicia and stuff? Like, well, he's the target of this woman. You have to understand that that's the position he's in. Here, Melton sees, well, what is this? Why are they, and all this sort of thing. And so, okay, I could see why he might have some upset over that and what have you. But it's not really a direct communication that way. I mean, it's just looking at the shows, and I took most of it as, as being silly about it all. But the plot to get Kumiya in there and all this sort of stuff. But that's between the two of them, Beyond that, I didn't mean to do terrible slight to anybody, but if that is the case, for my own part, I can apologize for that. I don't speak for Pat Dixon. Pat Dixon speaks for Pat. It's not my place to do that. But you got to understand, especially for the original business of the upset over the super tips and everything, Pat Dixon's position, he's been the target of that stuff. He's kind of a guy with a back full of knives. And so I think if that gives any explanation to it of his position, as I understand it, then perhaps that would help with it. Under none of these circumstances do I consider any of those knives in Pat's back having the fingerprints of Patrick Melton. I really don't see it that way. There's other people who really did Pat wrong very seriously. And with Melton, but that's my take on it. So it would be better if they were friendly and everything was nice and good, goody gumdrop and all that stuff. That's my hope. I texted Melton. I invited him to, if he would. I'd always intended to, but that's another problem. My own problems of trying to have guests on my podcast and stuff. I can't always do it. And if I schedule it, something may go awry, and that's embarrassing, and it's not a great thing to have happen. So more times than not, I just avoid it altogether. But I would like to talk to him, and, have this out and what have you. But, we'll see. If he doesn't want to, that's perfectly fine, and wish him all the best with Hackamania. I would have loved to have gone, but there's several levels there. I didn't know if I should. And again, Patrick Melton was always good to me on the parts. He paid for the artwork I did for him. And, all very professional and everything. And he's, very promptly, very quickly, and all that sort of stuff. And it was all very good. And he was very clear for what he wanted and all this stuff, and went back and forth on that. It was great. And I do appreciate that. And hopefully things smooth out and it's not any more serious than I think it is. I could be wrong, because, I'm not the center of this, and that's you always have to try to at least consider the positions that other people are in and that sort of thing. So there you go. Again, hopefully things smooth out better that way, and all the best for Melton and his endeavors. He's a very talented guy. It's a funny show. His timing is impeccable on doing that sort of thing. It's the difference between, it's like some people say, why didn't you ever try stand up? Because I can't. You've got to have that timing and whatnot. But here it applies to him watching these videos, and he just has it like that, and it comes through all the time. Lots of people are doing this sort of thing, the sniping and whatnot, and they're good, and they'll have a group or what have you. But something about the way Melton does it it's damn near flawless in the approach to it. I don't know. He found his calling with these the videos and what have you. So there you have it. So that's it for my monologue, I suppose. And I'll now let's go back to OBS and take out the camera of me. And turns out that's my hand. Yeah. And we'll get to the drawing. Now, I am a very insignificant channel, very small, so it's perfectly fine for me to read the chat. Oh, yeah, and that's one of the nods on Opie and everything. But Opie, of course, is the big star. And as far as Melton covering Opie now, well, yes, but it's fair enough that I guess at least on my part, should have stressed it enough that, well, everybody is doing, because all this stuff came about, and it's hilarious. Of he keeps stepping in it with Anthony and all that sort of thing. So even I did it. I'd been drawing Opie pictures almost every Monday morning and stuff like that. So, it's fair enough. But anyway, hey, Thompson, Doug, when you coming to Karmic Stream? I don't know. It seems like time is, again, stressed. So I don't know. That's the answer. Hey, Thompson, wait, I like this. Shake your finger and head at the same time. Well, hopefully I did. I don't know. Hey, Thompson, how are you doing this effect? It's OBS. There's 2 different cameras. One looks at my face. The other looks down at the drawing board here. And I just turned off the background, so that the only background there is, or image it has, is the other camera. So it becomes the background. So anyway, hey, Thompson, are your hands live? Yes. See? Oh, wait. You got it. Hi. Hey, Thompson, what program does OBS? OBS does this. All right. So now blast the whole thing with light, so that, the hell was that? Okay, hang on. I got to take care of an emergency. I'll be back as soon as possible. These things happen.
Just across the street?
I have to pee really bad.
Okay. All right. Well, you're going to have to hang out. Unfortunately, there's no places to pee right now. Where is across the street?
Golf Gate, Tipsy Turvy.
Golf Gate?
Tipsy Turvy.
Tipsy Turvy. Is that a bar? Excuse me, down at Golf Gate?
Oh!
Sorry, we're drinking a fizzy drink.
What were you drinking, sir?
Celsius.
Fizzy drink?
Yeah.
And it's a Celsius.
Yeah.
You swear?
Pinky.
You swear?
Pinky? Here, why don't we get out of the road?
You were drinking a fizzy drink.
Come on.
Hey.
Yes.
You were drinking a fizzy drink. Oh.
You all right?
Yes.
All right. I guess the house is haunted. So anyway, let me take a look here. We'll use this as reference. I'm looking at. You can't see it, but I can. So we'll do Chad here. Now, Chad, I've gone mostly because I've done a lot of these images of people having these, floating heads around them, as if, that's their nemesis that they obsess on. And of course, Opie, it's Anthony. I mean, there's nobody going to top that. But for Chad, at one time, it was Carl Hamburger from Who Are These Podcasts. A couple of times he was, I don't know, mad at him over something. I mean, obviously, he must have done a show about him or something. I don't remember. And that sort of thing. And then Melton. And I think a lot for the AC deal. You seem to mention him a lot more as somehow responsible for its failure and all that. I don't know. It's just, but it's like, boy, he's really in your head, huh? So the image was appropriate, So That works out. So anyway, of course, the idea that he's haunted constantly of him telling him he's dumb, nerd, and all that. Is always going to be quite fitting. There's another one I did. It's when he kept doing these live streams walking through the street. I guess he still does it. I don't know. But he's just walking through the street and stuff like that. And I mean, he looked pretty rough at the time. He doesn't always, but he was unshaven, and it was getting close to Opie territory. Although there was a recent video where Opie and he finally cleaned up. He shaved and all that stuff. Apparently, because someone told him that it would be a good idea if he did. And I guess they finally got through to him. So anyway. So there he is now. The Melton thing or head or whatever. So there we go. And of course he's shouting this to him because it's like, because you're dumb. Jeez. And the show he did last night was really good. I mean, he had was doing a bunch of these. He's done a couple of those before. I'm sure more. It's just the ones that I've seen, where basically it's just a bunch of arrest videos. But these were really good. Just these absolute psycho bitches losing their minds. And I think most of them, if not all they had to do was comply with what they were like, trying to get them to leave and stuff like that. And they just wouldn't. And because if they'd had, they wouldn't have gotten arrested and tossed in the, the squad car and all that. And they didn't listen. There we go. It's not a typical expression, you understand, so that makes it a bit difficult. I mean, typical I guess it would be, because he often tells these characters, "You're dumb, nerd." But it's like he's wants to emphasize the message to this guy. So, all right. There we go. So here comes Mudshart. Well, also, you have to understand Mudshart. In his own words, he worked so hard on that AC show. And there's evidence of this because he did make the lanyards and the badges, cutting each one out, apparently with scissors. I mean, not many people have the dedication to something like that. Of course, 11th hour, which, it, people might think it's all Chad's fault. But, Kevin waits till the 11th hour, basically, to say, hey, might want to check on this and see that everything's actually set up and everything. Well, it was my understanding it was. I assumed. And, yeah, it all fell apart somehow, some way. So, all that work on lanyards and the like, and I guess it was all for nothing. But not all for nothing. I mean, everyone got some videos to snipe. And then, then we got the video of Kevin getting pulled over, And then, best of all, I think, because it gave a good little sound clip for Melton to use. Secure. I mean, good God. Just the sound of that. That's going to be given for a long time. And just, and that's the things that is like, oh, well, it's not going to be a successful show. They're going to look stupid or whatever. And all that. And yet you never know exactly what would happen, because that little scene there of Kevin bitching about the dealer, it's it's so hilarious and surreal, and it's the way it works out. There's Kevin sitting there, so she's calling for security, and what? I can't have an opinion. Trump's America. Wow. And then she's like, secure. Oh, man. It was too good. So, you probably owe all that to Chad for making this happen. Jeez, I'm not doing a good job here. Probably. So you lose the, yeah, there we go. Okay. The intensity of the proclamation that Melton is informing Chad that he's dumb. There we go. I don't always get the little onion symbol right. In fact, I never get it right, probably. I don't know. But I did. And this I've emphasized a little too much here. He does have kind of a character line of some sort there. You always got to look for those, because otherwise, it's just some guy with a beard and a ball cap and glasses. It could be anybody. Yeah. Look for distinctive characteristics with which to complete your jeering, so that people have. And of course, as well, I put the onion hat on it. Oh, that's supposed to be Melton. And then there you go. Yeah, you're good. All right. Here we go. I don't understand. Why didn't it work? I put everything into this. Because you're dumb, nerd. You're dumb. Everywhere he goes, you know. And he's like, oh man, why didn't the hot dogs taste as good? I thought I got everything I needed. Because you're dumb, nerd. You're dumb. Oh man, how could I have forgotten to get more toilet paper? And now here I sit with none. How could I forget that? Because you're dumb, nerd. You're dumb. See, it's like that everywhere he goes. Yeah. Every defeat, failure, Melton is there to, emphasize the point. Will he ever learn? Well, probably not, but, well, hope springs eternal, I suppose. Boy, that's making a lot of noise. I guess I'll just mute the mic for the moment, and then I'll be right back. There we go. Boy, that made a lot of noise. A. Thompson, can you move your head? Yes. A. Thompson, poop? Where? A. Thompson, how did you clip the background of your head? Clip it? I mean, how did I just put it in there? I already explained that. It's OBS, Say I turn the camera on and do this. And then there I am. Did the cat knock something over? Yes. Yes, it did. I will be dealing with that in due time. But for the moment, I got a drawing to do. Anyway, I don't need to be seen. There we go. So I'll put this, in the Photoshop and color it up a bit. And we'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, oh boy, there's news to be had all over the world. Come on. There we go. Here we can enjoy this fascinating tale of these lovely ladies. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Texas mom and daughter busted for nationwide illegal butt injection operation. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. A mother-daughter duo from Texas have been arrested for allegedly running a nationwide illegal butt injection operation. The pair, Consuelo Dalbo, 56, and Isabella Dalbo, 18, were busted in a sting operation by an undercover cop in Houston. The two women thought they were meeting with a client whom they had charged $6,000 for the illegal procedure. They had just arrived back from California, where they were also conducting their illicit business. The mom and daughter were planning to inject the undercover cop with an unlabeled brown liquid. Why do you need to inject brown liquid into the butt when, a butt can do that on its own? In an apparent effort to calm down the cop before the procedure, the mother, a licensed cosmetologist in Texas, also allegedly offered the officer a Xanax. Officers then descended on the scene and collected bottles of illegal injectables and medical equipment from their bags. The two suspects allegedly claimed they were not even sure what was in the bottles. Well, you might need to know that, but well. The sting was orchestrated by the Houston Police Department's Major Offenders Division, the Food and Drug Administration, and Homeland Security. They want to get in on this too. Thank God they're protecting us from illegal butt injections. Both mother and daughter are charged with unlawfully practicing medicine. And the mother is facing an additional drug charge. They were released on bond and are scheduled to appear in court. The FDA has warned for years against using injectable dermal fillers for body contouring, saying it could lead to long-term pain, infections, serious injuries, and even death.
The injectable silicone oil breaks off into smaller particles throughout the body, possibly causing permanent damage and life-threatening complications such as stroke, embolism, and even death,
said Lisa Vasquez, a board-certified aesthetic nurse practitioner at Perlman Aesthetic Surgery in New York. She added that it is difficult to reverse an injection. I guess so. Even for the most skilled plastic surgeons.
Removal will require direct incision or vaser-assisted liposuction guided by ultrasound, which removes injected silicone, siliconomas, and scar tissue. But there is nothing that can dissolve liquid silicone. Any granulomas or clusters of white blood cells and other tissue would also need to be surgically excised.
The FDA has also said silicone stays in the body forever because the material does not break down. Holy crap, what did these two do? Inject their faces with this crap? I mean, I thought you were butt injectors, not, just cheek injectors. Yeah. Oh, perhaps there was some confusion. Yeah. Well, isn't this case just a pain in the ass? This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. All right. Now to bring color to the image. So there's an earlier one, and it's the Melton. I did a series of these of the different Dabbleverse characters, and you'll have those floating around. And that's probably the best mud shard I've done. So I basically, this one's even better than that one. And of course, that's a better drawing of Melton. So I don't know. I mean, I can always, and it's not untrue, say I'm dead tired after, being at work and all that. Here we go. Actually, no, Chad tends to keep his hair short, except like on top or whatever. So I think. So I don't think they're, it wouldn't show up like that. I don't know what that is. All right. There we go. I can use the same color. Bloop, bloop. All right. See, it's just as simple as that. Now, originally, well, I still could go ahead and do a lot of time when it's supposed to be some sort of floating phantom, I would, make it blue or something. But it might not necessarily be necessary. Okay. A little bit here and there. Huh. Maybe. Yeah. All right. Do this, that. Oh boy, this is going to take a while. Not really. You know the rule. Eventually, when in doubt, black it out. Or when getting dead tired, just black it all out. I see a drawing and I want it painted black. I think the hair, the hair on the he will be a tad darker. All right. And, yeah, I do know Melton is not bald. He does wear a hat a lot. Apparently, I guess he has difficulty combing his hair or something. I don't know. He took it off one. It was like big old mess of hair, you know. But I imagine a lot of bald people, he's like complaining about it or something. Like, shut up. You know, I can only guess. But usually it's like when some dude's always wearing a hat, you just, oh, okay, this hair fell out or that is not the case with Mr. Melton. Every now and then, I don't know, just didn't feel like wearing a hat that day. Or evening, as it were. So there we go. Oh man, I missed a whole because it would. All right, well. So there we are. There's. I tend to just go to the default, but of like a navy blue for the hat. I think he does have a red one. Oops. I forget where I am, you know. I think he does. I could be wrong, but it's possible. And I'm too lazy to look up the colors. Is it no? No. No. Well, let's see. Oh God, what? Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think. Probably completely wrong. And then that, I think. There we go. See? It's almost. See, it's not Cat. It's almost like he's very serious and very upset with Chad. But in reality, he's, mocking him, So, this is I've already failed here. I'm very upset. And once again, I have to apologize to Mr. Melton. Because I didn't do a good job here. But oh yeah, my excuse. I'm very tired, which is true. And yeah, I know, I always am. Because well, I shouldn't say that. All right. Do that and that. And of course, my rule about glasses. I keep them blank because that's symbolic of the um, lens in the glasses. Yeah. And of course, Mudshart's wearing sunglasses. So. Although he does have to wear, readers like I do. Or cheaters, as the saying goes. Something like that. I don't know. We'll just make his shirt blank. And we'll give him the dark navy blue. Let's see. That's a good enough color for the bottom of the sunglasses. It's all very comic booky. And that's where I began my artistic journey and where I ended it. I did go to art school. I did paintings and all that stuff, And for a while there, I was kind of serious about it, But life had other plans, All right. Here we can do this where he's really upset as he's mercilessly haunted. When am I ever gonna beat Melton? Something like that, Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to turn the mic off again because this will be loud. So give me a moment as I put the proper term on the hat. There we go. Maybe put a little shadow there. Something. There he is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a better Melton. He just looks really pissed off and mad here. So I'll have to work on that. This is probably my best Melton here for this particular image. And, oops. Oh, I didn't realize those were not, because he started that Phil thing and he did a bunch of hats with that. Let's see, where's Phil? Oh, geez, there's tons of them in the layers here. I did this one quite a while ago. Okay, so it's that one. So there, you can move around. But that's probably the best one. I don't know. If I can only try him at that, I'll have to study it further. But I doubt that this your dumb nerd thing will end up in the comic book. I'm dubious of that. I think I pretty much have the pages I'm going to go with, and that'll be that. But because you kind of need him in that position where he's sitting right there the whole time. Because you're dumb, nerd. You're dumb. But anyway, there we go. You know, a little limited for that. Yeah. I hope all enjoyed, and hope everything works out for the better. Meanwhile, tickets are still available. I believe, I would hope so, for Hackamania and out in Las Vegas. And treat yourselves and go have a great time. The shows will be from May 9th to the 11th. And who are these podcasts will be there? I believe Dr. Steve will be there, of course, Melton himself, and all will have a great time. And so, enjoy. Oh, what's that doing there? Do enjoy and have a good day. I've got to go recover from last night's work, go to bed, only to rise up and do it again. But it is my normal schedule. I had to do extra this past week. So, the struggle continues. Anyway, new Nailsin Ratings video talking about Star Trek. Yeah, if you're interested in that. The Nailsin Show latest episode will be out sometime today from Radio Misfits or wherever you get your podcasts. Clipped my Nailsin news stuff that I did on this live stream the other night and put it together with sound effects and that sort of thing. And it worked out. Had to cut some things down for time, especially when I'm talking about stuff that you can see. That's not appropriate for audio. So that's forthcoming with a brand new episode of Bubba Stargone and the Uranus Patrol. Oh, yes. So that'll be in there. Tomorrow, another live show as soon as I get home from work to read you another public domain comic book story from the comic book called Strange Worlds. So the last one was this outer space guy. This one is looks to be, I don't read ahead. I read it right then and there. And it looks to be like a ghost story. So it's called The Dead Man's Tale, and it looks like ghosts on the opening page. So I guess it's a ghost story. It's a little, but I guess because I thought with it shows like rocket ships and stuff on the cover, and then you had this sort of, I don't know, Flash Gordon like character in the opening story. And so I expected it to be all this sort of, old timey science fiction yarn. But I guess with the title Strange Worlds necessitates it could be other genres such as horror involving ghost stories and stuff like that. So who the hell knows, but we'll find out tomorrow on Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. So I will be doing that then. All right, there we go. Mudshart being taunted by Melton. Yeah. Everyone have a good rest of your day. I will be unconscious for the most of it. That's the plan. Let's hope it works out. It may not. Sometimes I just keep waking up, and that is absolute misery going into work. And I don't even know where I am half the time, All right. See you tomorrow.